Hello, friends. Thank you for joining us today for our time of devotion. I hope you're doing well. Today is a windy day in Lenoir City, and I'm afraid the wind gusts are going to be even stronger the later we go in the evening, so I'm just going to go ahead and hope for the best. Hope you'll be able to hear some of the prayers I want to share, or poems I want to share today. Sorry for the wind noise. I don't have a nice fancy app to filter the wind noise. So we'll just know that that's part of our world, isn't it? Part of nature. I'm standing in part of the Lenoir City Park. It's a beautiful area, and I've shared with you I guess it was last week I was here with the ducks and the geese and the beautiful view of the lake. And now up here, this is the upper parking lot, and you can see the Fort Loudon Dam over in this direction, on the other side of the tree, I guess. And so we've got Watts Bar Lake and Tellico Lake converging, and someday maybe I'll be able to distinguish all the different waterways, what they're called in each area. But Lenoir City is known as the lake capital of the South, and all these lakes converge here as part of the Tennessee River. So we're grateful for sources of water. And so, speaking of blessings, I've brought my favorite little book, 99 Blessings by David Steindl-Rast, and I've shared several blessings with you in previous videos, and today I'd like to share the one about the blessing of lakes. O Lord, source of all blessings, you bless us with lakes, those eyes of the countryside that look up to heaven, those mirrors of the sky's every mood, for the ever new surprise of water's edge, rock, reed, or brush, with all their hidden life, for fish, and farther out, for boats, for wide water, moved by the wind, or still water. May we always be grateful, and may we share this earth with all who share this home of ours, a gift of you. All right. Brother David Steindl-Rast, I'd like to invite you to church on Sunday at City the United Methodist Church. We're located at the top of the hill on West 2nd Avenue, and on a clear day you can look across this church steeple and see a great view of the Smoky Mountains. So we're in a beautiful setting for our church, a beautiful community, and a friendly church home if you're looking for a church home. I'd like to offer a new ministry. I mentioned it in my sermon last Sunday, and I'll mention it again this Sunday as we look at the story of Martha and Mary, and the importance of hospitality and listening to our guests. Of course, Luke 10 is about listening to Jesus. And so I'm offering opportunities to get together so I can get to know this congregation better, but also our community at large, or any of you that would like to participate. And so I'm looking for a name. I've done this in many of my previous church appointments. Sometimes we had listening and lemonade. We could call it Doughnuts and Dialogue, coffee in community, because I would like to meet in the various neighborhoods where we have church members, or where we're trying to reach new people with whom we can minister, or maybe even people who are potentially looking for a church home, or just so I can know about the area where you live and the concerns that you all have and that your neighbors have. Okay, so Doughnuts and Dialogue, lemonade and listening, coffee and community, pizza and people, cookies and conversation. Now, of course, I like cookies and conversation. I can provide cookies, gluten-free, sugar-free, with sugar, with icing. I'm all for that. cookies and conversation maybe, but I like coffee and community, that idea. So vote for your favorite name for what we're going to do. We just want to sit with each other and listen to each other and learn about one another and the needs and concerns, prayer requests, and the joys and the pride in this community. All right? And so thinking about Luke 10 and Martha and Mary hosting Jesus in their home, you remember, Mary kind of gets a bad rap on this story because Mary was the one who sat at Jesus' feet and listened. But we'll get into that Sunday morning or look into that for your Bible study from Luke chapter 10. All right, and a good colleague of mine, the Reverend Steve Garnaas-Holmes, has written some reflections about that passage in Luke's Gospel. And he said that his family had just returned from an 18-day road trip to visit their relatives. They traveled 4,000 miles, on and on. And he said on that trip, in order for them to find rest and shelter, they met many Marthas and many Marys. And all of those nice women met their needs for bed and breakfast, and even offered good listening hearts and friendship to them. And he said his family cherished both of those gifts, the service they provided, but also the gentleness and respect with which they listened to their stories. And so Steve says it's good to be Mary or Martha, or a little bit of both. Both of them are blessed in our faith tradition, aren't they? And Mary chose the better part. So we'll explore that a little bit on Sunday, what it means to choose the better part. But it takes all of us to provide hospitality and to welcome Jesus into our settings, wherever we are. And so he says, food and shelter and a listening heart. God offers both. Earth offers both. Good hosts offer both. The beloved one feeds our souls and then sits and says, tell me your story. So that's what we'll be looking forward to doing together in the next several weeks, whether it's Doughnuts and Dialogue, Listening and Lemonade, Coffee and Community, Pizza and People, or Cookies and Conversation. Okay, we're going to get together and talk and listen and share, hear each other's stories. So I hope you can join us. And I want to share, now I'm going to protect my books. I'm going to leave you a second. Okay, and hope that the stand doesn't fall over with this laptop. I want to show you the scenery a little bit. So we're under a sugar maple tree. Looks like it has some age on it, but it has some stories. And over there is Loudon Dam. This way, I guess, is towards the fishing pier. And you can hear the cicadas. There's a trash can for people to place their trash. We don't want to make the place dirty, messy. Okay, so just take in that beauty of the lakes and give thanks to God, who is the source of all blessings and the source of all water for our earth and for people and all creatures. So have a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend. Or this isn't a holiday. It seems like every weekend in the summer is a holiday. I guess I meant just have a good weekend. And I hope you can join us. Maybe my twin sister will come up to Lenoir City to visit us. So I can finally have a piece of birthday cake with my twin sister, blow out a candle, and make a wish. So here's wishing you a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. And help someone today. People are struggling. There's so many cuts and changes and traumatic things happening in our world. And so let's be kind to each other. On the prayer list, I do lift 2 young women who were detained by ICE agents this week. They were from right here in Lenoir City, and their father is left behind. He doesn't know exactly where his daughters are, and we don't know what's happening to them. It's very disconcerting. They were just nice friends and neighbors, citizens. They were not criminals. So please be in prayer for all people that are fearful these days. And so as we listen for Christ, as we learn in Luke's Gospel, he can guide us and help us to be gentle and loving and gracious to one another, and perhaps helpful in works of justice, so that everyone in God's great world can enjoy this life, abundant life that he offers. So let us go forth in peace to love and serve the Lord and share his love. Thanks for joining us.